Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees. Welcome to the morning japa session. So today we are actually going to discuss one verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So just before beginning, we shall have a short kirtan, and then we shall begin our session today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all the japa leads for a wonderful japa, reading wonderful japa. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Jai Gandharvika Giridhari Gandharvika Giridhari Radhe Radhe Jai Gandharvika Giridhari Gandharvika Giridhari Radhe Radhe Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Ananta Dev Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Ananta Dev Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Ananta Dev Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Ananta Dev Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss a verse from Bhagavad Gita that is 18.37. So I hope that this sloka is displayed to you. Hare Krishna. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Sloka, if anybody wants to recite after me, you're welcome. So just read the verse once, then we can recite the verse. Hare Krishna. Yattat agre visham eva pariname amatro panam tat sukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasada jam. Hare Krishna. Anybody who would like to recite after me? Hare Krishna. Yattat agre vishayam eva
यत् यत् अग्रे विषम एव
pariname amitroppanam
परिणामे अमित्रोपणम्
tatsukam satvikam proktam
तत्सुखम सात्विकम प्रोक्तम
atma buddhi prasadajam.
आत्मबुद्धि प्रसादजम.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Now we shall go to the word to word meaning. Yeah. yet which that are grey in the beginning, Visham eva, like poison, Pariname at the end, Amrita, nectar, Upam, Upam compared to Upamam compared to Tat, that Sukham, happiness, Satvikam in the mode of goodness, Proktam, it is said, Atma in the self, Buddhi of intelligence, Prasadajam, born of the satisfaction. She go to the translation, no? By His divine grace is Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Translation says like this. That which is in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens ones to self-realization is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. So try to read the purport. I think it is just, it's a small purport. In the pursuit of self-realization, one has to follow many rules and regulations to control the mind and the senses, and to concentrate on the mind of the self. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter like poison. But if one is successful in the following the regulations and comes to the transcendental position, he begins to drink the real nectar and he enjoys life. So it's a very nice short purport. Now I will be sharing you some glimpses about that. So before we actually begin, we should set lots of praise. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadavayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakavalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I thank all the seniors for giving me this opportunity and all the devotees prayers. Hare Krishna. I begin today. Today's sloka describes that which is poison at the beginning becomes nectar at the end. So this is one which awakens the self-realization, and this is going to be in happiness or in mode of goodness. So the point to understand here is we can highlight up another sloka over here. It is Bhagavad Gita 3.9. It says, Yatat karmano nitya lokoyam karma bandhana tat atam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. See, the work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds us to this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will remain unattached and free from bondage. This is got a close relation to today's sloka. So whatever we are going to do, any work done in the material in the spiritual platform has to be done to satisfaction of Kunti. Not only in the spiritual platform, but also in the material platform. Whatever we do, if we do it for the favor of Krishna, then and leave the results to Krishna, not expecting our results for ourselves, for our satisfaction, for our sense gratification. So then we actually relish the whole nectar of the substance. So there is always a hard struggle going and involving in the man's attempt to dominate the material nature. We are always struggling to dominate. See, someone is building a multi-story building, someone is building a beautiful machine, someone is making so many other material things, which actually gives them some satisfaction, but definitely at the end they are dissatisfied on the whole. So for every convenience the human tendency tries to produce, there is inconvenience accompanying it. That is what the understanding is. For every convenience, this is because this is the going against the law of nature, because it says there are so many engineers who design different kinds. There was one engineer who said he would design an aeroplane which would fly at greater speeds without danger. But then when the plane flies, however, all the windows and the city around the city are shattered because of the sonic boom. Because of the sonic boom which it flies, the speed which it flies called the sonic boom. In that boom, the windows are shattered. So like this, for every convenience, there is inconvenience which is caused, because this is caused by the law of nature. So our time is wasted by constructing so many devices which give us temporary artificial convenience at the price of the proportionate amount of inconvenience. So this is what we have to understand. This is called the law of karma, the law of action and reaction. Without any reaction, there is going to be not going to be any action, or without any action, there is always a reaction accompanied to that. So whatever we do, there is a reaction, and we get entangled. We try to improve on that situation. We try to do more. We try to work out more on that. By this, now we our entanglement goes on and on. So like this, we are always trying to. So let us see what our acharyas have said. Our Acharya Sukadeva Goswami said, "My dear king, those who are sinful can become purified from contamination by tata abhidhi, tata adibi. It means practicing austerity. So who in these days are practicing austerities? Very kind of a few kind of pious people, and very kind of a, there are some materialistic persons also trying to find out some kind of austerity. But how far it helps to their real life, that is the bhakti life, we don't know. So what Sukadeva Goswami also said, however that can be, we can become completely purified by the executing of the process of austerity. So like this, there are many yogis in the past who have performed austerities. Like whom to say, we can compare Vishwamitra Muni. Okay, when we take Vishwamitra Muni, Vishwamitra Muni was a born Kshatriya. A born Kshatriya. He was a very valiant Kshatriya. He was very powerful. But then he wanted to become a Brahmana. Okay. Yes, of course, the law of nature permitted. And then he became a Brahmana and he started practicing austerity. But ultimately, at a point of time later on, however, he became a victim of a society girl of the heavenly planets, that is Menaka. And then he actually became to beget a child out from her named Shakuntala. And he was so immersed in this material world that he could not able to come out of that. And finally, when he had to find a varam, that is a bride for his Shakuntala, then the whole knowledge struck to him. Oh, what am I doing? Where am I going? And then again he went back to his austerity and penance. So, like it is said, if one performs austerity and penances in this worldly circumstances, is so implicating. See, a great Muni like Vishwamitra was implicated by the material substance, was that anybody uh, can become implicated. That's how it's the understanding. So the other will involve again and again in this material loads of nature. So we again and again get loaded in this material nature. Like we are like simple substance to take is that we are always caught in this entanglement of birth and death. Birth and death. Every birth we want to accomplish something, we want to streamline ourselves, but then we go astray, we go astray from what we have to do actually, and then we actually try to come back. By this time when we try to come back, our lifetime is finished. Okay, and we are struggling hard in this material ocean, trying to control our senses, trying to control our mind, and trying to perfect ourselves, and still we are falling back forth. So how to understand this, how to understand this is that simply worship the original person, that is the Adi Purusham. The Adi Purusham is none other than Krishna. Adi is Adi, that's a thing. Purusham is Krishna. There is none other than one we can worship, Supreme Lord Krishna. And we need not fear to be misled by anyone. When we are going to purely devote ourselves, devote our knowledge, our mind, our senses, and all just by trying to worship the Adi Purusham, Supreme Lord Krishna. Also, Sridhar Swami also said, who is the original commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam, explains that one can reach perfection of life by simply devotional service. Kevala Bhaktya. Kevala Bhaktya. One need not be dependent on any other process. He need not be dependent on any other process, but Kevala Bhaktya. The Bhakti was the only marga, because we also learned out of the 9 devotional services, after performing all the 9 devotional services, after going through all the yoga, the Astanga yoga, the Jnana yoga, the so many other yogas, the best process which we learn is the Bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is the only marga where we can attain the pure devotional service for the Lord. Sukadeva Goswami says that we can put an end to the material life just by one stroke, Kevala. Okay, this also Prabhupada also explained this very beautifully. Once Prabhupada also said, he said, don't take the chisel and the hammer by saying tick 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 tick, just like a goldsmith. No, when he's carving the ornament, he goes very minutely and slowly tick 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 tick, and then it takes a long time. There is no need to go for like that for severe penance like austerity, practicing celibacy, controlling the mind and the senses, give in charity, perform great sacrifices, and become very truthful and clean. The very marga which is given by our acharyas is the bhakti yoga. Directly dive into the bhakti, and that is why the blacksmith bang. It's called the blacksmith bang. Just one bang. That's it. Finish. That's all. No looking back. So this is what Prabhupada also says. So simply by one stroke, accepting Krishna consciousness, that is the highest position. Just by taking Krishna consciousness, develop transcendental. One develops all transcendental qualifications. Goldsmith uses a small hammer, taps the gold many times, but the blacksmith uses a large hammer, and with one stroke, the job is finished. That's it. And then the blacksmith method is that the big hammer of the Bhakti Yoga. The Bhakti Yoga is the big hammer. Take Bhakti Yoga in your life and just finish off all your material life. It should be like that. There is nothing to undergo, no lesser disciplines, not to follow any other processes. Just finish. That's it once at all. So this is what the message of This puppet, a very short puppet, but it's a very wonderful puppet today. So how we can go on to do this? Just more one goes on chanting. The darkness of the many lives are dissipated. Chetao Darpana Marjanam. By chanting, one can cleanse the dust from the mirror of the mind and perceive things very, very distinctly. So, just by doing chanting, just by perfecting our chanting, nothing else can change our lives. Okay, when our chanting is perfect, you automatically see we don't have to crave for any services, any voluntarily. We should not crave. We cannot crave for services. Service will come to ourselves when we just do our chanting properly and our devotional aspect is established. Then that is the principle of our life. Then we know the what is God. We will learn what is God in this world, what is our relationship with God in this world, and how we live to live in this world, and what is our next life. That is more important. So we are always thinking on this body. We are not at all establishing our mind to think a little bit about our self. That is the soul. The self is the soul. The soul is very atma. Atma is the one which has a connection with the Paramatma. We all know we have to go to the temple, we have to go to kshetras to develop our bhakti life. But we also should know the Lord resides in everyone's heart. Everyone's heart. He is the mirror in our heart. Okay, the Atma Paramatma relationship. So when we try to get inner, so we have been always going exterior, like no, we are going in search of God. We are going there. We are going here. We are going to this kshetra, that kshetra. All good, fine, very nice. But then we should try to dive deep inside ourselves also. When we trying to dive into that, actually, we are going to search in ourselves what is God, what is ourself, how ourselves can be changed, how we can change ourselves. So this indicated in Krishna and Bhagavad Gita, that which is beginning in the beginning may be like poison, because when we try to know all these things, no, our mind gets boggled, our mind gets very difficult. But it's very easy to come out of this just by following our previous acharyas and whatever instructions they have given. Just trying to follow them, we can easily come out of this. Initially, it's like poison, but at the uh, as gradually we progress, we find that we get some self-realization, that when that realization starts happening, we see the happiness, the glow in our life. That is the mode of goodness. So this is what today's sloka is very wonderfully speaking about. So that which is beginning in the beginning is just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one's self-realization is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. So to actually, I'm very shortly concluding today. So to conclude, the point is to understand that this sloka do not take any severe austerities or penance or restriction or regulation. Just possible keep one theory, as the blacksmith theory, Big Bang, finish it, finish this material, and just because there is no end to this satisfying this material deeds in our life. It goes on and on and on. It carries one after the one after the one after the other. So that is very difficult. That is like poison. So to come out of this take to bhakti life, that is just like you're taking a very very harsh thing in the beginning, but gradually when you try to practice the through the principles of the acharyas, our seniors, Vaishnavas, taking their guidance and following in the footsteps of them, and then there is a small beginning, and that actually becomes a real nectar in the end. So I thank you all for your patient listening. I welcome anybody could share any views on this or points for my better understanding also. So I hope, thank you. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam to all. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Anybody would like to share something on this sloka? Anyone has views? You are welcome, please. whatever I could will do, then I have done. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna. Devotees
Hare Krishna.
quickly have to come on the questions if they have any. The time is up now. Hare Krishna.
It is a very short class, but it was very informative class. That's what I felt. I hope anybody has got anything to share, can share. Otherwise, you can go for the announcements.